He got problems, she got problems. Only I got 411 problems. Say hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to Vlogmas. And welcome to I Wish I Said Something. At this point in time, like there are actually like two stories going around of African American women who were turned away at hospitals who were pregnant, right?
To give birth.
My daughter is being kicked out of this hospital, and she's in active labor.
Admit her.
I'm about to have this baby now. I can't be.
Video shows Mercedes being wheeled out. Mercedes gave birth inside her husband's truck on the side of the road.
When's your due date?
Right now.
Is your due What?
There are a lot of horror stories for African American women in that department. I can remember being in labor with Ty and waiting on my mom. When my mom got there, we went to the hospital, and was it a nurse? Yes, it was a nurse who did the exam, who examined me, and she was like, "Oh, you're only 2 centimeters, so we're gonna send you home." Luckily, my midwife showed up, who was Caucasian. She showed up. She did an exam and she said, "You're not going anywhere. You're past 5 centimeters. You're in active labor." While I was giving labor, the same nurse, while I was in labor, the same nurse, while I was pushing, I kept telling my mom, I said, "Something's wrong. Like I can see Tyler going the opposite way instead of going down through the canal to come out, to be pushed out. Ty was coming back this way, which started obstructing my breathing." And I'm telling my mom, was like, "Something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong." And that same nurse was making comments saying that I was lazy, saying that I'm in a situation now that I need to woman up and keep pushing. And I kept telling my mom, I was like, "Something's wrong. I can't breathe. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with the baby. Something's going on. I can't breathe." And my mom's like, "Where's the doctor? Where's the doctor? Because you guys are not listening to her. You're not listening to her." It took them forever to get a doctor to come in to get a second opinion of examining me because they were switching shifts. So when the doctor finally comes in, even though my midwife was in the room, a doctor comes in, he examines me, and he said, "Oh no." And he started snapping his finger. He starts going off. He's like, "There is no way she can give birth. My pelvic bone does not spread at all. There was no way I could give birth at all naturally. I could never give birth naturally." So I was in active labor, pushing for over 15 hours for nothing. They had put me and Ty in danger. My breathing had started to become labored. Ty was going the opposite way because he couldn't go through my birth canal because my pelvic bone wouldn't spread. If the doctor didn't show up when he did, finally, they would have took me and Ty out. And the whole time, my mom was like, "Baby, just pray because they're not listening to you." Even when they gave me the medication to go into surgery, so the emergency C-section, my body had an allergic reaction. I went into shakes, just started shaking. My mom was screaming and saying, "What is wrong with her? Why is she shaking?" And nobody would answer her. I was shaking so badly. Even when I went to get my epidural, I was nervous because the epidural, they're putting a needle in your spine. And I asked the anesthesiologist, I said, me shaking like this, are you going to be able to do your job? He said, I promise you, I'm the best here. And he said, do you know why you're shaking? And I said, they gave me medication and my body just started shaking. Before he administered anything, he went to talk to the doctor to make sure it was okay for him to administer the medication. The anesthesiologist was the only medical professional that cared about me. Even when I went to go get a 3D ultrasound, and it was like, this is when it was just starting out, the machine was huge, and this is when they found out like Tyler had a birth defect. That doctor cared more. He wanted to have an emergency C-section then. My midwife was at a conference and he called, and the doctor that was in place of my midwife was like, well, she's so close to her due date. No, she doesn't need a C-section. And that doctor repeatedly said, I want to do a C-section because it's poisoning your baby's system. And I can't do it unless they release you. And the doctor would not release me. That doctor was so worried about me. He even called after I had Tyler to check on me. He was Caucasian. There are some great doctors out there who do not look like us. But there are a lot of healthcare professionals who don't look like us that do not care. And we have seen previous stories here lately by the two women who were in active labor, in pain, ready to give birth, and was sitting there making to fill out paperwork, which should have been the very last thing. And the other young lady who was turned away. I remember this story time actually getting ready for work today. A song was playing, and as I told y'all in a previous story time, I said it's amazing how trauma, when something is trauma or you don't want to remember it, how your mind blocks it out. And for me, that works for me. Because if it's out of sight, out of mind for me, or if it's to me, like I feed my mind like it never happened, it never happened, it never happened, I can process it better, especially if it's extremely painful. I've had a recent situation where I literally said, none of it ever happened. None of it ever happened. It never happened. And that's how I was able to deal with it. That's how I was able to not crash out. My body literally shaked for 2 days in pain once I found out this certain situation. So it was like, it never happened. It never happened. And that's how I was able to deal with it. It never happened. And so I realized, like, listening to this song, I remembered this one person who was singing this song, leading the song in the choir. And we're going to give him, do I want to give him a name? I'm just going to say Instructor 1. We're going to call him Instructor 1. That's what I'm going to say. We're going to call him Instructor 1. So, but I remember him leading this specific song that came on Pandora while I was getting ready for work in the choir. And it made me remember this story. And I remember why I blocked the story out. Because I felt so bad. I felt so bad. You know how sometimes, like, this is me. I truly believe everybody has gifts. Everybody doesn't have the same gift, but I believe everybody has gifts, right? And there's certain things that you can pick up on quicker than other people, or you can remember numbers better than other people, or you're good at interpreting dreams, or some people have the gift of foresight, whether you believe that or not. Some people have a healing gift, whether they're able to hear certain things, pay attention to people, pay attention to details, just certain things. I believe everybody has a gift. And if you tap into it, you can either use it for good or bad, right? And sometimes I notice things and I don't say anything because this gift has kind of it's kind of eerie at times. It's kind of eerie at times. And sometimes I don't say anything because I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right, especially when I see or hear that something's off or something's wrong. Or I don't want to come off as offensive. Anyway, so this instructor I remember him leading this song. So at this point in time, me and Ty are members of a completely new church. We have moved to a whole different city and we are members of a completely new church. And we are very, I won't say we're popular in the church. The church is very huge for us to be popular. Let's just say we know a lot of people. We know a lot of people. We know a lot of people. We do. We know a lot of people. And it's because some things are just orchestrated. I don't know. How can I want to say this and like be politically correct. Sometimes God puts you in places, or whoever your higher being, whoever you believe in, put you in places to where you connect with people. And sometimes I'm just in situations to where I somehow am connected to certain people and I don't have to brag about it, but I'm just connected. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time I'm quiet about it because sometimes that could be a target and people want to use you to get to that person. Right? So I'm connected. And it was just orchestrated. It wasn't planned on my end. It was just kind of orchestrated and just kind of flowed. And then regardless of how much I may or may not say it, I'm a dope person. I'm a dope vibe. And sometimes I kind of withdraw because just like I can pull good people, I can pull bad people. Like bad people notice it too. Right? And I kind of pay attention to certain things. Anyway, instructor is a part of a group because me and Ty have become interested. We're very in tune or close with a couple of people that is part of the deaf ministry. And at this point in time, like they're telling us, like, I think you'll be really good at it. You should learn sign language. Me and Ty. So out of the deaf ministry, there are 5 instructors. I think it's 5. Hold on. Yes, 5 instructors. Out of the 5 instructors, I'm very, very close with 4. Right? Well, 3. 3. I would say 3. Main instructor who was leading the song, we're not really close, but there's a rapport. Let's put it like that. So I'm very, very close with 3. And so 3 are pretty much telling me like, y'all should know, like, we need more people because the ministry had kind of dwindled down, and so they needed more people to sign to the deaf ministry during service, like, the songs, so they'll know what's going on, from praise and worship to the sermon, right? And so they had started giving classes because they needed the ministry to grow. And so I was like, Ty, are you interested? He was like, yeah, let's do it. So me and Ty were taking the classes. We were taking the classes. This is a very short story. Me and Ty were taking the classes. And so as we were taking the classes, instructor had his best friend come as well. His best friend was 8.5, 9 months pregnant. She was getting ready to get married, and she was full of joy and life. She was full of joy and life, because she was excited how things were falling into place. Because of course in class, the class is not very big. It's only a few of us. Instructor was making us go around and introducing ourselves, right? So I would think it was like maybe 6 of us that was in the class, and to the point where I started doing things outside of the classroom. So like I would get in tune to know, because once I'm intrigued, like I practice and study at home. Like I could do the whole alphabet, even at my job. At the point in time when I was still working at the pediatric practice, we had a deaf patient. And she had, her baby, I wouldn't say she had just had a baby. Maybe the baby was maybe like 5 months, 6 months, just had a baby. And the baby was gorgeous. And so when she would come, she knew none of us in there spoke, did sign language. So she would write on the paper, or she would type in her phone and, to say what she had to say, or how to schedule her appointment. And I'm very skeptic of letting people know, like, especially like when I'm learning certain things. But the baby was so beautiful, right? So beautiful. And so like I said, I knew certain things. I knew the alphabet. I could tell you good morning. I could tell you thank you. I could say you're welcome. I could say, you know what I'm saying? Or I could say you're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was things like I knew how to do like that. Like, not, or I could talk to, especially some of the members who were in the deaf ministry, like they knew my face anyway. And so they they knew me and Ty's face. So I would have a conversation with them. Like they how can I say it? People who are deaf are very selective. They're on guard, but they're very selective. But then once you find out, they're almost like Capricorns, because people will be like, Capricorns are mean and they don't talk. But Capricorns have to be very, very comfortable with you and open in order to open up. And if they get any kind of, like, any little vibe, any little bad thing about you, or if they've noticed something about you, they're not going to open up to you. And so they're going to always be guarded to you. People who are deaf are guarded. But when they find somebody who genuinely like knows how to sign and that can have a conversation, it's not like how can I say, like it's not like not you're not making it like you're just signing, like you're just signing with your, like you're just talking regular, or they can read lips well. So like you're just talking regular to them, right? So, and you're not saying, going to the interpreter, tell them, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not present, they're present. So when they tell you like, hey, or they'll sign like, to your mouth, they can read your lips well. And you talking to them normal, or if they'll do like this, like slow down when they're reading your lips, so they want you to talk slower. And so when you're talking to them, normally, like that's like an invitation for them, and they get excited and they want to talk, because most of the times, because they're looked at as, oh, like this disability, like you can't hear me, so I'm just gonna talk to the interpreter instead of talking to them. And they're there, they're present. And once they find out that you get that connection, that they're present, they talk nonstop. They get excited. And they're really cool people. Like, they're really cool people. I kind of wish I kept going, but Yeah. So his best friend was taking the class. Like I said, she was 9.5. She was 8.5, 9 months pregnant. She was getting ready to get married. And she had showed up to the class the first night. And the first night, I didn't notice it. I didn't say anything. I didn't pay any attention to it. And at this point in time, I had already finished. Did I already finish? Yes. 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 I'm trying to think. Did I already finish medical assistant school? I think I did. Yes. I had already finished medical assistant school. So I had been in and out of medical. So I know certain things. Even before even before going to medical assistant school, like I could pick up on certain things like that. And as I told you, like my grandmother was a healer. She wasn't a professional doctor, but she knew how to use herbs and how to heal certain things. And when I tell y'all, even with um like voodoo, love spells, and all that stuff, and I'm saying y'all like stop playing with that stuff, I just know certain things a lot from my grandmother. Like me spending time, when I tell you, I'm so grateful that I got to sit in my grandmother's presence and learn certain things that are not in books, if that would make sense. So anyway, like the first week, like you can see the joy, and she was instructor's best friend, so you can see the joy in her, like the excitement of, like when your life is finally falling into place. And I can see the excitement in her. I can hear the excitement in her because, again, like he made us go around and introduce ourselves or whatever. And so he was like, this is my best friend, y'all. And you can tell like how excited he was about his best friend. Like if you have somebody who you've been best friends with, and sometimes it don't even have to be years. Sometimes you can meet a person and click. You know what I'm saying? Like it flows. It literally flows. And then you've had people who've been in your life for a long time. And you just know. Like I like Erica. Me and Erica did not click when we first met. Me and Erica were beefing. Like me and Erica was like, girl, we do not have to talk to each other. And so she was like, after I said that, like it was like after the tell off, Erica was like, oh girl, we gonna be best friends. And we have been stuck together ever since then. We have been through some people since then, literally. But me and Erica do not talk every day. Sometimes me and Erica can go months without talking. And we'll call each other and be on the phone for 5 hours. Me and Keish do not talk every day. And when we call each other, we're on the phone for 5 hours. Like we pick up like we never left off. So sometimes there are people that come into your life and you just click. It don't necessarily have to be like a long-term friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, like certain things just fall into place. And that person is in your life. They don't want nothing. They're not using you for nothing. They just want you. Genuine friendship. They don't want your money. They ain't trying to do nothing bad to you. They just love your vibe, love your essence. And you can tell in their friendship, like you can tell like they were best friends. Like the that's my best friend. Like the giddiness you get when you have that relationship, when you find it, the safeness, that safe space. You try your best not to mess it up, right? But you could tell like they were really best friends. Like you could tell they would talk after everything. Like even when he was trying to teach her certain signs and she couldn't get it, he was like, come on, best friend, come on, best friend. You know how you have nicknames for your friends. Hey friend, hey best friend, hey homie, whatever. You have certain names or whatever. Like me, I Keish. Nobody can call Keish Keish. You're like, I get offended because I call her Keish. Yeah, nah. Y'all can call her name. I call her Keish. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you just know the connection, the vibe. You can just see it. And so the second night, she was there, and her breathing was labored. Like, you know how the class is quiet? Like, and all you hear is, and she kept apologizing and saying, "Oh, y'all, I'm so sorry. Y'all know, I'm getting ready to have this baby. It's just, it's a lot." And as someone who was pregnant already, like, I know sometimes, like, being pregnant is a task, and sometimes the baby is in a uncomfortable position, and you're uncomfortable. But it was something about her breathing, and I was like, mm-mm. It's off. And I don't know her, so I wanted to say, you really need to go to the doctor and have them check on your breathing. But I don't know her, right? I don't know her personally. I just know her from being in this class a couple of weeks. And at this point in time, we had the class maybe 4 times. And we had supposed to have it, by this time, we had supposed to have 7 classes. But it was kind of hard to get a instructor to be consistent because everybody had lives, right? So I've only seen this lady 4 times in my life. And for me to come in, somebody who I've seen 4 times in my life, and the 4th time that I see her, I hear her breathing is labored, and I know something's wrong, but I don't know how to approach her or how to say, like, you need to go to the doctor and let them check on your breathing. But she's saying, because it's quiet, when it's quiet in the classroom, and like when we were writing on our papers or whatever, she's saying, I'm fine. It's just the baby is uncomfortable. I'm getting ready to have it. And that can be a true thing, right? And I've seen this lady 4 times, and the class is only an hour, y'all. So how do I walk up to somebody, a complete stranger, and say, you need to go to the doctor and have them check on your breathing because it's labored, right? She wasn't in labor. Her breathing was labored, meaning it's hard for her to breathe. But she's saying it's the baby, and the baby was just in an uncomfortable position, and I'm fine. But to me, I can hear that you're having problems breathing and you need to go to the doctor. And at the end of class, everybody's walking around talking, because he was like, I want y'all to stay a little bit after class and, practice with each other, like doing the alphabets, or if you could practice doing your numbers, signing your numbers, signing good morning, signing certain things that you practice at home. Like, let's do that, like stay 5 minutes after class. But they would be talking. And this specific night, they were talking. She was walking around. She was fine. She was fine. The next week, instructor comes into class. His best friend is not there. Hold on. His best friend is not there. So I'm thinking she had the baby, or maybe she's just too tired to come to class or whatever. And so he says, I only came to class. He was like, we're not going to have full class tonight. I only came to class to let you guys know, because there was no way in the short amount of time that I could get in contact with you all to let you know to cancel class. You know what I'm saying? It was like last minute. He was like, I'm going to cancel class today. He was like, I'm sorry for those who drive far. He's like, I'm going to cancel class today because my best friend passed away last night in her sleep. And I'm sitting in my chair and I grab my hands like this. And I'm so mad with myself because I wish I said something. He said, and we don't know what happened. We don't understand it. And it's not one death, it's two, because the baby didn't make it either, right? Baby depends on mom. He said, fiance is going crazy, mama's going crazy. He was like, I'm losing it. This has been my best friend for years. This has been my person I can confide in. And he was like, and I don't understand. She was fine last night. And to me, she wasn't fine. But she was saying it. And I wish I would have said something. And here's the thing, even if I said something, she may have been offended or she may have taken my word. And even if I said something, that doesn't guarantee she would have went and got checked. But it just weighed so heavy on me. And all this time that I've heard this song, since then, the memory popped up tonight. All this time I've heard this song, because this song has been out for a long time and I've heard it on repeat. But the memory popped up tonight. My mind allowed it to be released. Because as I state, like y'all, like I listen as I'm getting dressed to come to work, I listen to gospel. As I'm driving in my car, anywhere, I'm listening to gospel because I don't want to crash out. I don't want to crash out. Like y'all think the little bits and pieces I show y'all on the dash cam is not even scratching the surface of the craziness that people do when they driving. Real talk. And then I also play gospel to keep me centered because people will try you on a daily and then think like you don't notice it. And I just try to make sure like I'm not putting myself in any kind of situations to where that ghetto side of Angel come out and I react out of emotion. I want to make sure like I am controlling every part of emotion, and gospel keeps me to that point. Literally. And I just started that at when getting dressed. Because at first, like I wasn't doing it. But there's certain situations that I'm noticing at home. And so it's like, yeah, let me go ahead and play some gospel because people want me to crash out here. So let me, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, sometimes when people look at you and it's like, oh, you short stature, you don't really say nothing. You know, people don't know your past. They don't know anything about you. They just assume that you're not going to do anything or you're not street smart or you don't know, you know what I'm saying? You don't have no experiences. And then they don't realize that you a stone cold killer. A stone cold killer. Or you can get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you quiet and you sit and you poise. It's because I choose not to react out of emotion. There's a lot of times where I can crash the out. But I choose not to. Because it's like, what purpose is this going to serve me at the end of the day? I can get there. I just choose not to. And gospel helps me not get there. Because there's times when I'll be like, what the? Yeah. Yeah. So It's so crazy just how that memory popped up. And I was like, I don't want to tell this. And I was like, no, I'm going to tell it. My goal is to put things in this diary for me to look at while I'm here, to look at, to get the pictures up while I'm here. Cause yeah, I don't think people realize, like, people hacking my Facebook, my Instagram, me pulling down pictures. I don't think they realize like how much memories and my pictures being destroyed in storage, how much I had to fight, how much I had to send my goddamn license to prove I'm me. Like, I don't think people realize how much that destroyed the timeline on my social media. The people I was connected to on my social media who are now no longer here. Like, I can't get those messages back. I can't get those pictures back. Like, Ty's baby book was destroyed. Like, it's just so much trauma in this brain. And it's like, I just don't want to hold on to it anymore. And I beat myself up so bad about not saying anything. I wish I would have said something to her. And I don't know if it would have made a difference, because like I said, I've only seen this girl 4 times in my life, and there's no guarantee she would have looked at me and be like, girl, you crazy? You crazy? Or if she would have listened. I just wish I said something. I just wish I said something. And like I said, it's so crazy because out of all the times these songs have played, this song has played over and over and over on the radio. Like, the memory popped up tonight. And I was like, I started not to say nothing. And then I was like, no, I'm going to go ahead and put this story out. I'm going to go put this story out because I don't know who is going to help or who is going to save. When you don't feel like something, when you feel like something's off or something is on your mind to say something, even if these people are not talking to you anymore, if you feel like something is on your heart to say something, it's like, I just gotta say this. Text message, email, say it. Say it. Get it off your chest. I don't know why this was broken out of the trauma vault, but say it. Say it. Say it. They may not even receive it. That's not your part of the ball that you need to carry. That's not something that you need to work. If something is on your heart to say, say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. And I do that. Like, now I make it a business. Like, if I dream about somebody or if they cross my mind, I'll be like, oh, I need to text them. I need to text them. I need to get better, because there's one friend I was like, girl, I was supposed to text her like a week ago because she had crossed my mind, and she ended up texting me. And I was like, girl, I've been texting you in my head for over a week, because I'll be like, oh, I need to text April, and then I'll do something else. I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do something else. I have a friend named April. So yeah, and they was like, oh, I need to text her. I need to text her. I need to text her. Oh, I need to do that. Oh, I need to say, oh, like, because she'll cross my mind, and I'll be like, oh, I hadn't talked to her in a minute. Let me text her. Let me check on her. And it'll be in my head, and I'll do something else. But she ended up texting me, and I was like, excuse me. She ended up texting me, and I was like, girl, I've been texting you in my head for a week. So if it's on your mind, please say it. They may not receive it, but if it's on your heart to say it, say it. You never know. I just wish I would have said something. And I don't know this lady at all, and it bothered me so bad because it was like, what if you said something and it saved her and her baby? It bothered me so bad. And after that, class was no longer because instructor couldn't come back because that was the last place he had saw his best friend alive. And everybody else, you know, they were too busy with their schedules to teach the class. So the class kind of dwindled down, and nobody could blame him for not wanting to come back. Because could you imagine, like, this is the last place where I saw my best friend, and she was saying she was okay, because literally the night before she passed, she kept saying, like, y'all, I'm okay, excuse my breathing, because it was so loud. She was like, I'm just getting ready to have this baby. And she was so excited because she kept saying to the instructor, she was like, I'm getting married, I'm having a baby. She was just so excited. And I blamed myself for a long time. For a long time. Even now, it's like I'm emotional. It's all get out. Because I feel like if I said something, I could have saved her. Even though there was no guarantee like she would listen to me. I just felt like she was gonna look at me crazy, and I was like, nah, maybe I'm just tripping. Yeah, so a complete stranger, if it's in your heart to say something, say it. Say it. Don't always think you have time. Don't always think that there's gonna be another opportunity. Yeah. Anyway, I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. This was supposed to be short. Yeah.